Hi, Joe Cerrone.
I'm Al Rosen.
Welcome to CAD 116 Basic AutoCAD in our weekly Zoom meeting. Module 2. This week we will be covering Module 2. In the main splash page, we have given you a summary of the assignments that are due. The first one is a general design assignment, number 1. And if we click on this, it has the instructions to create this number 1. And it's a coordinate exercise in which you will input the coordinates starting with these absolute coordinates by starting the line command from first point 2, 1, enter. And then by entering the subsequent values, you will get the coordinates for each of these locations, and you will create a drawing like this. So if I were to use an inquiry command like utilities ID point, and then if I hover over this coordinate, and this is something that Object Snap is very useful for. So Object Snap will need to be on and enabled. And if you don't see the Object Snap, then over here in the customization, you're going to want to make sure that you have it checked off. So in order to see that coordinate value, I can go to Utilities, ID point, hover, click, and it tells us that that's point 2, 1. And then if I right click, I can repeat that command and get the other coordinates. You only have to do the absolute coordinates. There are other ways to put the coordinates in with relative and relative polar. We will use some relative polar in future modules, but from a standpoint of being able to understand how to use the computer system, this will accomplish our learning objectives. And then the second part of the assignment is to complete either the mechanical or the architectural assignment. The labs are shown right here. So that's our architectural assignment. We will use the architectural title block to complete that. And here's the mechanical assignment. And we will use the mechanical title block to do that. If we go to the home page and we go to our content section, here's our module 2 information. Here's a link to the AutoCAD fundamentals. And this is just general information before we had D2L. It has excellent YouTube links for self-study, how to use absolute coordinates, and then back to our chapter 2 and labs. Here's the assignments, and here's a video tutorial to how to create the assignment.
And Joe also explained that they have closed caption on there at the same time.
Yes, we put things on YouTube so we can close caption them. And it's quite good. YouTube does an excellent job. And so this will show you the construction process to create the floor plan of this conference room. You will need a chair for the drawing, and you will need the B-size title block. So you can download the title block and open it. I'm going to say ignore. When they have a yellow triangle, they're warnings. And what you'll do is you'll create this drawing in model space. As we work with AutoCAD, the title blocks are in what's called paper space. And then model space is the area where we can go through and set up our drawing. And so we can go to the tools and drafting settings, and we can enable snap and grid. And we can put on our snap at 6 inches and our grid at 12 inches or 1 foot. I like to enable polar tracking. And OSnap, I like to enable as well with the defaults. By doing that, you will have this grid display, and then you can start on the wall layer by creating a line to the necessary specifications in the drawing. I'm just going to say 15 feet here. If you turn on the line weights, it makes it a little more visible, easier to read. That's this button right here. Back to the main splash page or back to our chapter. You will need this chair drawing. And so if I download it and open it, you can change the view to a top view. And then you can copy it with a base point. So we select the base point. We can either put it here on the back or on the front. I'm going to put it on the front center of the chair. And as you see, when I hover with the OSnap on, it will magnetize to the midpoint and give you a heads up display. And then we can select the object, hit enter, switch over to our B-size architectural title block, and paste it into the drawing. And so you will need this chair. I'm just going to rough in a table to complete the assignment with a polar array. And everything is in the instructions to be able to complete this successfully. If you do have questions or comments, you can instant message us. If you decide to do the mechanical project information is right here. Here is the YouTube video. Here's our mechanical drawing.
The ones below it are bonus points.
Here's our YouTube video. Which will walk you through how to create this mechanical part. Here's the B-size title block that will be necessary to do this exercise. What you want to do is you want to download it and open it. And then we create the drawings in paper space. I'm sorry, in model space. This is what's called paper space. And think of paper space as a frame for the drawing. And we draw it in model space. And so whatever we draw here, will then show up in the main title block. If I double click in the title block, I can move that within the viewport. And then I can lock the scale in at 1 = 1. You can set the scale here. Those are the required assignments. You can choose either the mechanical or the architectural drawings. Here's our PowerPoint that relates to the chapter. And these are the exercises from the end of the chapter. And just like a regular book, there is content there that it's not required, but if you want to be able to learn more about it, you can go through these chapters at the end of or these exercises from the textbook at the end of the chapters. That's module 2. If we come back to the main splash page, you'll see in the calendar that the module, when the module is due. I think, Al, you're going to need to update this to include the module 2 as well.
I think it is. I think it just went off.
Okay.
Just to make sure.
Typically, the assignments are due 2 weeks from the date. And so today's the 22nd, and Al will have that updated. So check for that. Module 3, here's our information on the lecture for that. How to go through and work these assignments. And links to the drawings in our previous classroom assignments. Step-by-step videos. Showing you how to create these general design assignments. So in module 3, we'll continue with our plate drawing exercises. Everybody did a great job with those. And then you're to either choose the mechanical or the architectural drawing assignment. We have videos, drawing templates, and all the information required for the course. Here's the video on how to do the architectural assignment. Remember, we've color coded them. Al, do you want to talk a little bit about the color coding?
Yes. On color coding, purple or magenta is videos. Blue is reading assignments. Green is like drawing assignments that we have set up ready to go. So all you have to open it up and it works.
Right. And so we're trying to keep it as straightforward as we can. And if you do find any confusion, just instant message us. We've also put module 4 for those students to be able to activate and to be able to actually just module 3. So that's our assignments for this week. If you have any questions, be sure to instant message us and we'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Al, is there anything else that we want to say before we end this Zoom video weekly meeting and open things for questions?
Basically, number 4 will be activated by Monday.
So you'll be able to have access to that module if you want to work ahead.
And if you do want to work ahead, just email us and we automatically will set it up earlier for you. We have no problem.
Great. Okay, with that, I'm going to end the Zoom meeting. I will post this video and we'll open things up for questions.